Okay, so we've gone over the incident investigation process, and in there, there's the requirement for the gauzy thing do. So using the fishbone. So we'll actually have a look at in terms of how this fishbone actually works. So this is where we actually do the root cause analysis. So basically, and it's looks pretty much like a fishbone, just that. Now, what do you think goes here? Yeah, that's right. The problem focused problem statement. And then we have the four M's, we call it. So there's the first M here, and second, third, fourth. But each of those four M's actually mean, so what are we actually looking at? What four aspects? So the first one, yes, man, that's right. The second one, method, that's it. We have the material, and the last one would be machine. That's it. So in regards to this particular incident, our focus problem, and we've the previous step when we actually did the 5W and 1H, we've come up with our focus problem statement, and it's quite a lot here, but I will actually try to see what we can put in. So on Tuesday, the 2nd April, the operator on operator at the rework station had a laceration on right thumb while using a knife to remove the SSCC label. Yeah, so we're familiar, we know how we got that, right? Okay, now what we need to do then is look at what are the possible causes that would have actually contributed towards that problem, focus problem statement. So why did that actually happen? So this is where we start to look at the fishbone. Now, some people do it separately in terms of a brainstorming exercise. So you could actually do a separate brainstorm and write do everything here. Or you could even do the brainstorming using this fishbone, and I'll show you actually how that will actually work. So let's look at, and this is where you actually do not discount any possible cause that people may actually suggest. So when you do it in a group, this is where you look at, okay, what are some of the contributing factors, looking at the main, machine, method, material. So if you look at machine, for example, what are some of the things that could actually have contributed towards it? Yeah, so tool not correct. Something else, anywhere, anything. The way it was done, that's correct. So that will actually probably go in here. The process, or the steps, process not correct. And yes, yep, you're right in terms of the man, new operator. What about material? Yep. So this is where we can say SSCC stuck too tightly, so it's hard to remove, and the stretch wrap too tight or thick. Yeah. And anything else that we can look at over here? New operator not trained correctly. Yep. Okay. Now, when you'll be actually doing this with a bigger group, there might be lots of other things that would come in here. As I said, put everything that comes in people's mind, put it over there, don't discount it. Now what you do is, if you look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible causes. Is there anything that could be put together like a cluster? If you look at new operator, not trained correctly, tool, not at this stage. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what you do is look at each of these possible causes and say, okay, is it a real contributing factor, or do we know something that would actually say that that's not quite true? It may be true, or it may have been true, but we have actually gone now and done some further investigation, or we may require to do some further investigation, and that'll take probably a day or two. And then when we get some further feedback, we could actually say that that is not true, and that's where we can actually cross things off. So I know that David had actually gone and confirmed about the SCC stickers, and that was actually applied correctly. So it's not an issue. So we can actually put across. Don't rub it off, because we're saying that we've considered that. So in future, if there's a repeat incident, then we will know that we had actually gone and considered that, but it was not true at that time. And this was also identified by David, that the stretch strap was not too thick or tight. The operator, yes, the operator was new. This to be confirmed correctly. What is correctly? So the operator was trained, but is our training appropriate? The steps process not correct. So maybe these two could be linked. If you can see here, is if the steps are not correct, then the training material will not be correct, and the operator will not be trained accordingly. So maybe that's sort of a cluster that we can put in here. Now, the knife was the right tool that was used, so this is out. So what we're looking at now is the steps in the process. So this is where we will actually put that into our issues and actions to do. So our issue here is the training material and the steps, and the action here is to review. And of course, that's the next step, which we will not cover here, is how do we develop that action plan then? Yeah? Any questions? Yeah, so clear about focus problem statement? Yep, cool. Man, machine, method, material. And do we discount any initially when people are calling out what the possible causes are? Yeah. So we don't. So we put everything in here, and then we cross and tick, and that takes us to the next step. Cool? Any issues? We can discuss further on that.